Alright guys, it is Sunday morning. It's pretty early. It's raining. It rained most of the night. So I'd plan on doing a bunch of 180 dry today, but I don't want to do it in here because it'll get that dust everywhere in here. So I'm going to wait until it clears up, and then I'll take some stuff out, set it on my table, and start sanding. So in the meantime, I went ahead and started bolting some pieces on. So yesterday, after I put the polyester on my parts, I ended up mixing the rest of my chassis black. There's just a little bit left, and I done my body mount covers, and I done my forward mount cover, or core support lower pad, I guess, cover. And I got these lower brackets here that the inner fenders will bolt on. So anyway, these are permanently bolted on. I had notched them out for the brake lines. I got little ARP 12 points in those. As I said before, I left a little space around them so they won't, chip the paint or anything like that or rattle. But if I ever got to replace a brake line or whatever, I can take them off and feed the brake line through. I showed this in an earlier video. This is a little cover plate. This is a dash script for a 150-210 series 55 or 6. And it is a used one. It just cleaned up a little decent, Anyway, I just have these bolts sitting in here, but if I can get them out of here real quick. I showed this in an earlier video in the raw stage, but it basically goes on to cover up that. It bolts on. I have the frame threaded, drilled and tapped, basically. But anyway, it's a nice little cover with a little bit of detail. So if somebody bends down the front of the car, they have a little bit of detail instead of having a sea of black. But anyway, you can really see that piece I put in here because it kicks off at an angle. It's all smooth. Otherwise, it's just an open, it's flat down in the little piece of channel thing there. But anyway, here's my bumper bolt access. They're covers. That way no dirt and debris gets down in there. And I don't have them bolted down all the way because obviously I don't have the bumper on the car. I just put them on to get them out of the way. But those are all button heads. I got this little bracket here I also painted yesterday. It'll actually bolt on there. It is for transmission coolant lines. And keep them nice, and I have an attachment that'll actually bolt to that, so keeps them nice and firm. Anyway, I'm pretty happy. Those body mount covers look pretty trick on there. I'm kind of digging that. I'd never seen that but done before, so it's kind of neat to come up with something on my own, A lot of guys just plate them in and weld them up and smooth them, and then I guess they run their lines on the top of the frame. But I'm always looking at, if I have to, change out a battery cable or fuel line or anything, it's going to be easy to do on the side of the car underneath than trying to get up here on the top and find a clamp bolt or screw or whatever to try to get out without being able to actually see it. But so anyway, I removed the original inner fender lower panel tab. It's actually crappy welded to the frame, so I took it off and smoothed everything up. And I made my own, and this is just out of some angle, but I ended up, these are Z-chromed, and I blocked them out real nice. So they're really, really flat. Now this is the part you see from the bottom of the car, although the little inner fender bracket, or inner fender tab will bolt on out here. This side's not much to look at. I have it stamped there with an R, although it didn't quite fully get stamped. And I have a little 1/4x20 bolt, or a nut, tack welded on there. But anyway, that'll bolt on just like that. So the ugly side goes up, but you don't see it. Once the car's together, you won't see the top side of it. You'll just see it from the bottom. So as long as the bottom looks good, I don't really care, But anyway, I still got to put my covers over here, but I got to do all the fuel line and brake line stuff. So here's my fabbed up little standoff, I guess you could call it, for my fuel filter. That way my nitrous oxide braided hose will go through, or line will go through, and my battery cable line will go through. And I've drilled a hole through there, and I'll have rubber grommets around these so the battery cable passes through. I haven't decided fully if I'm going to put the nitrous on the car or not. I bought a brand new kit for it, a 125 shot. I don't know if I'm going to mess with it. I might put it on something else later. I just kind of want a street cruiser out of this thing. I'm not really into the hot rod stuff anymore, going fast. But anyway, so I'll probably start putting the fuel lines on here in a minute. I already have the frame drilled and tapped for those. I'm going to have to clean them out with a thread tap here in a minute because they're full of, high build primers and Z-chrome and everything else and paint. So anyway, I did not have enough paint, chassis paint, after I'd done them little parts to do my cross member, transmission cross member I made. So this is actually matte black and matte clear. It has a totally different sheen to it. It's a little bit more satiny shiny, I guess, but it's just what I had to do. I'm not going to buy another quart just to do the cross member to match. So, it can be a little bit off on the shade. I don't really care, but it's just a pretty basic looking cross member. But I capped the ends and I built the whole thing. And just out of scrap stuff I had here, and I smoothed everything, made it pretty much look one piece. The bad part is I went through my tote for my chassis stuff and I cannot find my 5/16 by 18 ARP 12-point bolts and nuts, and I don't know what the heck I did with them. I know I have them, I just haven't found them yet. Kind of weird because I pride myself on having everything arranged in the car or for the car in the house. I get ready to put that on and can't find it. So I'm assuming I've got it in a different tote by accident, or I overlooked it, although I did look twice in that tote because it is full of little small stuff, so it would be easy to overlook it. But anyway, guys, just basically just doing some chassis stuff because it's raining outside and not much I can do. So anyway, I guess I'll go as far as I can. I guess I can get the forward fuel line on and maybe start the battery cable stuff on there, but I guess that's it. I'm just kind of wasting your time and my time at this point. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get back on it. Hopefully the rain clears up where I can do some dry sanding.